Hello. Here we are starting with JavaFX. In JavaFX, we need this import statement such as basically we are doing the drop shadow and the lighting, and these are some additional import statements as you see. Let me just run the code and show you what kind of effect I'll be adding to the application. So here in the application, this is a rectangle and to be added with a shadow around it, and then when I drag up the slider, how it changes the reflection of the text jet code in the application. So for these two things, first we need to create the content and um, add them to our grid pane. Sorry about that. So in the grid pane, to align everything in proper order, here one grid pane has been created, then the rectangle, text and the slider has been added to the grid pane. Okay, so this is our grid pane. H cap and V cap has been added as 10 and 12. That is why that must spacing is added around the three components. Rectangle is created, and then to fill it with green color we are using this, and then to create the drop shadow class object ds. Here this function drop shadow, it accepts what will be the radius and what will be the color to be applied to the shadow. Those two arguments are passed, and now then the object is set to the rectangle up here. Then to add it to the grid, this is the statement. Now we will work with the slider and the jet code. So here, to add a lighting effect to the text control jet code in this application, we need to create one object azimuth of the simple double property. So here the object belongs to the light which is controlled by the slider. If you control the slider, you can control the reflection of the jet code text. And then we have initialized with 0. So it needs to be initialized to some value. Now the light for the light object is created for the light dot distant class, and then the set azimuth is set to 0. So these two statements and this again these two statements here, it's supposed to add the reflection to our jet code. Now the text is supposed to be created, then set text method filling the color, what color do you need to add, then font size. We created the text with the jet code. Now we have to create the slider. So now next thing is that to the slider we need to bind the value property of the text. So the value property will be added to the slider here, and it needs the azimuth object, and it will control the reflection of the text through the slider. Now to listen the event, when we drag the slider to listen the event, this is the part up here. So add action, add listener has been added, the method, and the light is being set and the effect is being set. Now the next thing is that the text jet code and the slider must be included into the application in this way. So that's why this is the grid positioning we have applied, and then scene is created, and then scene is properly placed into the stage. So here you have seen two effects, drop shadow effect and then the reflection effect.